and welcome to the Techegy podcast. In this episode, we discuss our games of the month. And, sometimes we talk about the best games we've played. Sometimes we talk about the worst games we've played. But these are all games that we have played in February of 2023. So let's see what indie gems or AAA flops we have. We obviously coming live from 3 states because M2 is actually with me here in NC. So just somewhere in Ohio and just outside of Pittsburgh, we are ready to go. And I'm going to kick it off because I'm probably the worst on what I've played this month because I haven't really played a lot. It's been kind of busy with things. So there's really 2 games that I played. I'll start with the easy one is Team Pixel Boy is an independent publisher, that does things for the Xbox. He is retiring. This will be the last year that he does games, and he actually has released his 3 final games. And one of them is an arcade port of a game I never saw in the arcades, but it's called Arabian. I know I mentioned it in the flagship. It's a fun little arcade game. It reminds me a little of Mr. Do. You're running around. It's a great port. I went back and I actually played, an emulation version of the actual arcade game. It's very faithful to it. What I really like is if you spell the word Arabian in the correct order, you do get bonuses. It's a fun little platform game. Like I said, it reminds me of kind of a combination of Mr. Do's Castle, meets, what other game would I say? It was like Popeye, maybe. It's kind of a combination of those 2 games. It's just very well done. It's going to be a shame to see him leave our community. And we've delayed for the second game. We've actually been kind of delaying our player name. So, one of the games I picked up last month in February was the new version of Shaq Fu. I mean, I have it sitting here in front of me, waiting for this awesome player name we're going to do. The Shaq Fu that Legends were destroyed by. This bad game. We'll talk about it, but I don't know why. For some reason, they decided to make a new version. What is it? I think it's called Shaq Fu: The Legend Reborn. I bought it as part of a Humble Bundle last month, and it actually was pretty fun. It's almost, it's a little. It reminds me of the Ninja Turtle games actually. It was I found it was a lot more fun. You didn't have to be drunk to play it. You could do it sober. It would have been fun with playing with friends, but very few people actually have the game, at least on PC. But it was like somebody actually thought about the game this time. So I have to say, I think I paid $10 for the whole bundle. There's 10 games in there. I think I got my dollar's worth out of it that night. I played it on my Steam Deck. We will cover that in full coming soon.
Yep.
To a podcast near you. I actually can't wait to do that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun.
Coming up, it's I keep an eye out because it's in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. And we're going to have M2 will be on that one. I know that he's played it a few times. And with that, I'm going to keep the mics rolling. I'm going to kick it off to Mike, to MC. So MC, you've been playing a lot more stuff than I've been playing.
Yeah, okay, thanks, MM.
You've been playing a lot more.
Yeah. I can't play one game, so I played a lot of different ones. I don't finish a whole lot of them, but a few of them I do. But anyway, continuing from last time, I'm still playing Somerville. I think I'm getting close to the end. Playing the Survivalist with John. We're pretty far in that. But the 2 new games that I started playing was Atomic Heart, which is in Game Pass, and I think it's really cool looking. I think it's really I like the story, the atmosphere, everything else. It is a very hard game. I had it on normal when I first started playing. And all I'll say is a bunch of robots were beating the heck out of me. So then I actually ended up putting it down to beginner so I could make some more progress and stuff like that. So, but that's what I've been playing, which I kind of like that game. hopefully it won't get too hard for me because it is a pretty tough game. The next one, actually, I just played like last night and today was Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which I think I thought getting to the first boss wasn't too bad, but the first boss I'm stuck on and he's tearing me up. I like it. I like the inventory and the way it's set up with I don't know, the way the health works, the levels work and all that. I think it's pretty cool. I have a little problem with maybe it's just me, but it seems like the size of the screen, it's like when you're fighting someone, they can easily get off the screen beside you. And you have to hurry up and spin around to see them. It's not like, it doesn't seem like it's widescreen. It seems like it's not. And sometimes if you play it for a while, it seems to give you a little. I never really get motion sickness, but I don't know. For a little bit there, I started feeling like I was getting a headache because of all the jittery-ish or whatever it was. But I like it. Hopefully, I can make it past first boss because I hear it kind of evens out after that. And plus, then I can play multiplayer with John.
If you played Sekiro, it is exactly like Sekiro, but I've actually heard and read people say that it's a little bit harder than Sekiro. I don't know if that's from the game or just maybe just the combat not being polished. I don't know.
I don't know. What I don't like is they can too easily go right next to you, and then by the time you can spin around to see you, they're already beating the crap out of you. Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's widescreen. It's kind of weird. Maybe there's a setting for that. I'll have to look.
You do have to beat the first boss to unlock the multiplayer co-op. So I'm not expecting to ever play this with you.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get it beat even if I have to get my son to help me. Hey, I'm old. Fingers don't move as fast as them young guys, so I have to get a young guy to help me.
Young man's game.
Yeah. Also, of course, I played some Beat Saber. I bought a new album on there. I think it's like Rock Mix or something. I think, Mike, you have that one too. I think.
What did I buy? I bought just one song. I bought Party Rock.
Oh, okay. I bought the mix that is Eye of the Tiger in there and a bunch of other songs. It's not bad.
Hey, now that I know how to play the damn game, it's actually a lot of fun. I haven't done it in a week. I was actually looking over at it, saying, I need to do that. But yeah, that's a great game.
It is, and Oculus for VR, I really love it. I will say, a lot of the free stuff they give you is really fast pace. So I was thinking getting the old rock and roll at slow down. That's not the case. It's still pretty fast, hitting the blocks.
Yeah, there's nothing slow about that game.
Yeah, and the songs are actually longer than the ones they give you. So I actually played through the whole album the other day, and boy, I was a little bit wiped out at the end. But anyway,
make sure you take that low dose aspirin so you don't have a heart attack.
Yeah, I won't have a heart attack. I mean, but I just meant I was sweating pretty bad, and I was ready to take the headset off. And the only other three I have, I picked them up actually on Saturday. First, I don't know if you probably can't see this, but it's Batman Returns from the GameCube. And I was playing through that. I played a good hour on that, and I thought it was pretty cool. And, it kind of follows the movie and everything else. And then I got let's see if I can get this.
Actually returned in the game. So good.
That doggone thing ain't gonna just let you see it, but I got Golden Axe 2 for Sega, and I played a couple levels of that. And I also got Pitfall. I played about an hour of that, and actually, I like all three games. I think they're all pretty good. I played them on the original system, so I was having a pretty good old time yesterday. So, but that's about all I got. So,
cool, man. I guess we're going to continue the mic train here with them too.
Sure. Yeah. So it's been an interesting month for me because at the very start of it, I got a Steam Deck, and so it's been fun looking at what games I absolutely love and whether or not they translate well to the Steam Deck. And so I have a lot of games that I played for like 5 minutes that I won't talk about. But I guess I'll say on the retro side of it, Taz and Escape from Mars on the Sega Genesis. I've been playing through that. Mickey's Castle of Illusion for the Sega Genesis. I've been playing that. And of course, Toy Story 2 for the Nintendo 64, one of my favorite platformers. And evidently, I remember all of the locations of the first like 2 or 3 levels where everything is from when I was like 5 or 6. Because it's just, I don't know, it's just up there. But that's the retro side. What else? I bought the WWE 2K22. I've got like 8 hours in it. Played exactly 1 match. The community creations in it are hilarious. You go out there and you download like Steve Harvey and Shrek, and all of a sudden they're fighting each other in a ring, and Shrek's got a ladder and he's hitting Steve Harvey in the head with it. It's just real funny. It's a great Friday night kind of game. My buddies and I, we bought the game Marauders, which is like Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, but in space. It's got what I think is the coolest intro cinematic in a video game I've seen in a while. And they're still patching stuff. It's a fun game. Biggest danger in it is there's no indicator that it's an ally when you put your crosshairs on them. So I have shot my friend more times than enemies have shot him. And it's the type of game that if you put one well-placed bullet in the head, that's it. You lost all your stuff. So I frequently give him guns. What else am I playing? Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord just dropped some new updates, and the game doesn't crash all the time anymore. Well, you laugh, but it was bad for a while. It was, oh, you want to load into the main menu? Yeah, no. Oh, you went into this combat? No.
Wow.
Oh, you wanted to talk to this person? No. And so the modding community actually is kicked off for it because they're not patching the game themselves anymore because the game itself is stable. So, I mean, passion project for that studio because they really turned it around because the initial like beta launch wasn't very stable. And then I think finally the game I have the most hours in is Hogwarts Legacy for February. And what's crazy about that is I really haven't progressed that far in the main story, but I'm level like 33. And it's because I'm just running around collecting all the field pages, doing all the little challenges and everything. I don't think there's been a AAA game that I've been so immersed in, or just a game in general I've been so immersed in probably in the last 10 or so years. I'm really impressed with it. I'm glad I bought it. I don't think it's the perfect game for everyone, but for me it's kind of made me fall in love with gaming again, honestly.
Yeah, not me.
No, you'd hate it because it's RPG.
Yeah, so
I won't pay the $70 for it. I'm against that increase in game prices.
Well, I have it on Steam, so it was the normal, like the lower price.
Was it?
Buy the upper one to get the access to it a few days earlier.
I mean, I wouldn't have mind if they raised games a couple bucks, but I'm not jumping from 60 to $70. That's too steep.
Well,
I'll
imagine
wait till it comes down to $30 and buy it.
Imagine the first games I remember buying were Game Boy Advance games that were like 25, like $30 for the big Pokemon game. And then my next console that I remember buying stuff for was a 360. It was like $60 a game. 50.
Yeah.
But it's like that jump to me is just wild.
Was it 50? Was 360 50 or was it 60?
I don't remember. I mean, I remember paying 60 for a long time. I don't know if it goes all.
Yeah, maybe it was 3. Maybe he's right. Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
But here's the thing: if you're going to increase the games, I'm okay with that. But why didn't they increase it $3 a game instead of let's jump at $10 a game? And it's just for the investors. I doubt if even the programmers are getting any of that money.
Yeah. I bet you it was a 64 was the last system that the original Xbox were the last 2 systems that were 50. He may be right. I'm dating myself. I remember paying 40 for a ColecoVision game.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
but you got to look for those deals.
They have a lot of people working on games than they did back in the day.
Well, if it's a single player game, I just wait till it comes down. It'll come down in a couple months. It'll come down to $50 or $40. I'll buy it then. I'm not paying $70. If it was a multiplayer and we were all going to play together, I'd probably do it just because you guys are all buying it or something. But I'm not spending that kind of money.
Sounds like a Hufflepuff to me.
Yeah. Most of the games aren't even worth the $60. So.
Hufflepuff, is that
Now maybe that one is worth it, but
is that like H&R Puff and stuff?
Yes,
so,
absolutely. So to build on M2's comments about Hogwarts Legacy, I absolutely is a great game. I do have one small problem with the game. So I kind of think the story is lackluster compared to. I mean, you've given the whole Harry Potter universe, and the story that came with it is not maybe living up to my expectations. But when you come from the movie with the epics, and especially the last three films were like some of the best, I guess it's hard to beat that. But that's my main complaint with it. But yeah, I always, these open world RPGs, I always end up doing things that increase my level but don't push me further in the stories. Like I'm always out messing with stuff. Elden Ring, I have like over 400 hours in. And I've beaten it like 3 times. That was the game for me. I Elden Ring's still better than this, still better than Hogwarts for me. The only other game I think came close in the last few years would have been probably Breath of the Wild. I got pretty into that for a while too, but I'm just a Legend of Zelda fan, so that my favorite game of all time was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So that's hard to beat that one for me. But no, Hogwarts Legacy is a great game. I think it's going to be contender for Game of the Year easily. Looking at game releases coming this year, if I can only think of 1 or 2 games that might come close to having running competition in there, but I can't picture anything else. And if the games get pushed back, then it's not even going to matter. And there's a Bethesda. I think they're both Bethesda games. So, yeah, Starfield. Yep. So Starfield's pretty much going to be the main contender. So yeah, but it's an action RPG. You got the classic RPG system, things like your clothing and your accessories and weapons and that, and spells, and everything's got different. You have different abilities, and some people don't like that because it's almost like you're micromanaging your character. I like it. I do think sometimes there's some JRPGs that take it too far. But I'm speaking JRPGs. There's the Final Fantasy 16 coming here in the summer that I'm excited for. But anyways, want to touch on Atomic Heart real quick because I had a meltdown about Atomic Heart the other day. Because there was so much potential with Atomic Heart. I think the art direction that they went with, being like a Soviet, futuristic Soviet kind of republic that you're in, where like the Soviets had won World War II and had created these robots that were supposed to help humans, and then they just kept pushing it, and it went too far, and now the robots take over. Classic robot story, right? The robots are now sentient and out to kill all the humans. So everything's cool until you decide to actually have combat in the game. And the combat just is not there. No matter what you do, you are so underpowered compared to everything else in the game. And I had no problem so much when I'm in like the laboratory. So what you do is you go from lab to lab, finding certain pieces, learning more about the story. But there's an overworld. And the overworld is trash. And it's not that it's not fun to explore the overworld. You can't explore the overworld because there are 30 robots kicking your ass the entire time that you're above ground. And then when you kill these robots, there are repair robots that fly out of the sky and repair them. And if you kill the repair robots, there's a repair robot for that.
Plus, the combat isn't that good. It's kind of janky. It isn't real good. What
upsets me is most of these robots had been decommissioned and destroyed, especially the human-like ones. But there was, I don't want to ruin story, but there was an event that happened that brought these robots back online. But these robots, so half of them are like damaged, but yet they can sidestep you and beat the crap out of you, and you're just standing there like maybe throwing a punch. Like, why are these damaged robots so fast? Why can I not avoid them? Like, if you go in for a hit, you can get guns and stuff. So you can, but you have to craft bullets or find them. But if you're going hand-on-hand combat or even with a weapon, you're pretty much taking hits. you're just exchanging hits with robots because there's not a lot of evasion tactics that you can do, and they hit faster than you do, even though they're damaged and have been offline for years. So I don't know. I hate they were so close, and then it's like they just they did the combat and they were like, all right, let's just release it.
I agree. The graphics are really good. They got some really creative story. I mean, I don't want to say the whole storyline's great, but that beginning part is really cool. What they do, where they take you, and everything else. But then the combat isn't that good, and then you're outnumbered all the time. And then, like I was telling you, you go up to these lockers and that to get inventory out of them. And if you don't hold the button long enough, the drawer comes out like halfway instead of whole way, and there's stuff in it. And if you walk away, you don't get it. But if you pull it out the whole way, then you get stuff. So you can miss stuff real easily. And the one part I got killed, I'm looking and I kill everything in the area. There's nothing around. I run all around. So I go into this room. There's nothing in there. I'm looking through a cabinet, and for some reason, just a robot appears beating me in the back while I'm trying to open a drawer. I mean, and I'm getting killed while I'm trying to open the drawer, and then I try to turn around to fight him. I'm dead, So it's just,
Listen,
it had great potential, and they messed it up.
I'm not afraid of hard games. I've played through all of the Dark Souls games. I've went back and played Demon Souls from the PS3, which you want to talk about janky and boxy and everything. That game doesn't, I hate to say it, but it does not hold up. The remaster on the PlayStation 5 does, though. But I'm not afraid of hard games. But when the combat is just not, I don't know, it's half baked. They should have focused on the combat, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I was really looking forward to that game, and after about 20 hours, I didn't really care about it anymore.
Well, since I put it on easy, it isn't as bad now. So I mean, but it's still tough, but it isn't as bad. So I just am glad they have an easy and a normal and a hard mode. You know what I mean?
Would have been a good game for co-op too, but
yes, it would have. But here's what I don't like this Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. There's no easy mode on that, is there?
No, it's Sekiro, but not Sekiro.
Yeah, I mean, well, my thing is,
name.
If you're not going to give me an easy mode, at least give me a mode like Elden Ring where I can grind and get to where I need to be. You know what I mean?
Grind and then still get one shot by some random.
Well, still, but at least you can level up to the point where you can be a little higher level than them when you're fighting them. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
enemies in Elden Ring also.
You got 1 hour. We got 1 hour more than I do then.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not 20 anymore. These fingers have arthritis and everything else. They don't move like the young kids do.
So 2 more games I'm going to talk about real quick. One of them I think is going to be a little bit unexpected, but I just started playing it probably the last 3 weeks, and I've been playing a lot of it. Like I have a bunch of hours in this game already. It came out a few years ago, and it was just on sale, and that's Saints Row 4.
Yes.
I don't know how I missed this game, and it's so stupidly fun.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying it's a great game. I'm not saying the mechanics are top notch, but you start the game off, and I get to punch the Speaker of the House in the crotch, and just the comedy is low tier, sophomore trash comedy.
Like Duke Nukem.
Yeah, like Duke Nukem, but it's hilarious.
Oh,
and there's so much.
And it's a decent game.
Yeah, it's a decent game.
Yes. There's a lot to do in it. It's an open world, like obviously like GTA. And I don't know how I skipped it, but I got it on sale for like $5 a couple weeks ago, and I've been playing it. I think C's like every time he gets on, I'm playing Saints Row now.
Yeah.
I have it. I have it as well. I'm looking at my Steam library. It's called Re-Elected.
Yep.
I also have it. How many people can play that co-op? Is it a 4-person co-op?
I think it is 4.
Oh my god!
You guys have it on the PC?
No, but I can get it on the PC. Is it on sale right now?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Michael, I can see him on there. M2, I can see him on there. Yeah, I probably got it as part of a Humble Bundle at some point. And
I will say Saints Row 3 is my favorite game because it was still grounded in a little bit of realism, more so than the 4th one. But the 4th one is like, it's almost like playing a modded version of an open world game.
Yeah.
But it's base game. And so
I thought it was really broke in the beginning, though. Or is it?
which one?
I thought it was really broke in the beginning.
You're thinking of the new one was.
Yeah, the new one. I mean,
Yeah, that new one. I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't.
Andre said it was pretty broken.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so just for awareness on Steam right now, it's $5.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is what I paid for it on Xbox. In the Microsoft store, it was also $5. So if we all wanted to play co-op, we could buy it for Steam or for Xbox.
what am I buying it for? Xbox or
Well,
Steam?
we'll talk about that afterwards.
It looks like there's crossplay now.
Yeah, it does say crossplay.
PC.
Oh, well, if there's crossplay, then it doesn't matter.
Then I'll get it on the Xbox just because who knows if my machine's powerful enough to play
It's
it.
Steam, Epic, and GOG.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
what was
but,
the-
well, I mean, it's on sale for $5. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend picking it up because it's just. I mean, I'm just sitting here laughing playing the game myself, and it's hard for me to put down, and it's rare that you find games like that anymore that you really don't want to put down and stop playing. Like some games I'll play, and I'll play a lot of hours in them, but like after I play a couple hours, it's like all right, and then I'll come back to it like a few days later. But there for a week, I was playing Saints Row like almost every evening when I had time. I was playing
Look
it.
at it.
And just a reminder, this isn't a game that I've played recently, but it was something MC and I have played in the past. And it's called Valheim, and it's a it's coming to Game Pass actually.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
So as soon as it does, we're gonna have to play that because you can have some fun in Valheim. I know MC and I. It was mostly me carrying us, but
Yeah, you're what, 20 years younger than me or something? Come on.
But
But here's the thing, John. They've changed so much since we played. It'll be like a new game to us.
Oh, I know.
mean,
No. I'm
it does
excited.
is
I'm
fun.
excited to play it because we were playing it back when it was still beta.
Yeah.
So last game I want to talk about is called Feudal Alloy. It goes. It's not on sale right now, but I got it on sale on the Switch for like $2. About a month ago.
$2.
Yeah. But I think it's normally like $15 or $16. So what this game is it's really interesting. So it's a side-scrolling RPG that they all hand-drawn, like cartoonish graphics. And what you are is a fish-controlled medieval robot. So you are a fish bowl with a fish inside of it on top of like a medieval styled robot.
It's not the fish from Family Guy, is it? Or not Family Guy, American Dad.
No.
Is it made by the same company that made Gato Roboto? It was like Metroid, but it was a cat in a mech suit.
I know I've played that game, but I don't think it is the same
Okay.
developer. The developer is Attu Games, ATTU. So I'd have to look through their library to be sure. But I have played that game, and that's a good game too. It's actually kind of similar because you could call this like a Metroidvania, but it's more of a hack and slash game. I'd maybe compare it to something like Hollow Knight or Dead Cells, but the game that you mentioned is very close as well. But I've had so much fun playing this on the Switch. Actually, I was playing it not too long ago here, and there's tons of gameplay. There's tons of weapons, armor, different abilities you can get. The enemies are really interesting because everything's stylized as like mech or robots, but from a medieval standpoint. So things are steam powered and built with wood, some metal, everything's kind of grafted. It's a good game. There is some jank to it at times. And I will say a couple hours in, there's an area that is not the best designed, and you can get lost very easy to the point where you get a little bit frustrated. But I stuck it out, and once you get past that one area, the rest of the levels are totally fine, and you can go back and revisit places. There is a hub world that you can teleport back to buy new weapons and things like that. But if you like loot, if you're a big into finding loot, there's tons of things like that. Lots of different armor customization and just all around an interesting game that I would never have heard of if I wasn't bored one day and just scrolled through randomly in the Nintendo eShop, because it was like at the bottom of the Nintendo eShop after like a half an hour scrolling. It was on sale for $2. and I took a chance, and I'm glad I did because it's a good game. It's not on sale on Steam right now. It's $16, so I would wait. Maybe look. I believe it's on every console. I think it's on Linux and Mac too. So if you can find it on sale somewhere, I recommend getting it, especially if it's like $2. So that's all I got. I mean, I played some other stuff, but I'm not gonna go through pretty much everything. I don't know if I played anything bad though. I was gonna ask what's the worst games you've played over like the last month or two, but I don't know. I don't know if I think just my anger at Atomic Heart, which I know a lot of people think is a good game, and I think it is a good game, but I kind of rage quit it. So
They gave it an 8 out of 10. So
I think the game that I probably have got the most frustrated with this month is NHL 23, which anybody that knows, knows I always play the hockey games. I don't really like this one, so I've kind of biased against it, but it's really messed up for the Xbox. I wish they would actually do patches and stuff on it. I think that they're doing more microtransactions than anything. I know that he's had issues with it on the prior generation, but I mean, there are times the controller just doesn't work, where you got to exit out of the game and reboot your Xbox, Series X just to play the damn game. And
there's been times I haven't had sound, vibration doesn't work on my controller.
jeez.
It's broken.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, for me, the game that's probably frustrated me the most in the last month was I was trying to play football on my PC, and so I was playing Mutant Football League, and I started the franchise mode in the new one, and they start you with, no matter which team you pick, they start you at like a 52 overall, and it doesn't matter how well you can play the game, you are supposed to lose for like a season straight to be able to get enough money to upgrade players. And as someone that loves sports games and loves being able to compete in like championships and playoffs starting year one, it's just frustrating because I can go into play now and beat the guys like 60 points by 60 points, and then I go into the franchise mode and I can't even score a touchdown because my guys don't catch the ball. It's frustrating because that's the mode I want to play, that's the game I want to play, but there's a disconnect.
Yeah. The other game I can think of I got really frustrated with is I was actually playing Overcooked 2 with my sister on the Switch. And the game is hard with just two people. And of course, I'm screaming at my sister the entire time. Like, what are you doing? Get the rice. And she's throwing rice off of the hot air balloon, just tossing stuff. Like, who cares? Just there goes the food off of the hot air balloon. And we're losing. And I'm trying to get past this level. And I'm screaming at my sister, ruining our family relationships. That was the game I think I've been most frustrated with. I don't know. I download a lot of games off Game Pass and only play them for like 10 minutes and then I delete them.
You played cricket?
No, I haven't yet.
It's on Game Pass. It's so much fun. Because you don't know what's going on. And then you'll like you'll drop a bomb, right? Like and then it'll be like out, and you're like, but I hit it clean out of the stadium, and apparently that's an out. And then you'll just like win the game. The other thing is the multiplayer for it doesn't work. You can't, like, if you're both streaming through Game Pass, or have downloaded it through Game Pass, you can't just connect to your friend. You have to search for a match and hope you get your friend.
Oh.
And it's just a quirk of all that Game Pass streaming and all that stuff. But I mean, it works. When it works great. But that game, if you haven't played it, that's a good one to try. It's like a sports game for non-sports games people.
Gonna have to check it out. And also, I do not have a copy of Toy Story 2 for the N64. I have the original. I have the Toy Story 1 for the Super Nintendo, but I'm on eBay right now buying a copy of Toy Story 2 because I looked at it and I'm like, wait, this is open world.
Well, I lied a little. It's open level.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really open world. It's like you're released into Andy's house and you can explore from his room to the attic to the basement to the garage all in one level, in one load. So it's a wide open level for what it is.
Right.
But it's not like you can run outside. The outside's another level. But it's I mean, I love that game. I'm
So
trying to 100% it.
I mean, it's not it's I found a couple copies on here that are like $12 on eBay. There's actually an unopened one for 319.
That's the one you should get.
I
Will really be that one is going to play the best.
I agree. I agree.
Yes. Bigger number, better game.
Yeah, but I'm so definitely gonna get a copy of that. I think maybe in the future it'd be fun to do a player nay on the the first 3 Toy Story series games, because first one's kind of iffy. I know you. I'm not sure about 2 or 3. I think I played the third one. I don't when it came out because it came out a couple years after 2. Anyways, yep. So that's it. MC, did you have any bad game this month?
I guess the worst one I played was Atomic Heart. That's why I had to downgrade to a beginner level just because of combat. You know,
I don't know
but
if you could-
it's great. You know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you played like 100 games this month, so
Yeah.
well, there's probably a few I can't remember playing.
Well,
you know.
he's got to make up for people that don't play any games.
That's
yeah.
right.
You know, us here at Techegy, we're all big gamers.
Big gamers.
Big gamers.
Big
No,
gamers.
I don't think there's a single one of us that has ever said that they don't play games. So
I either work, sleep, or play games. That's it.
Yeah, I even got my Switch in the bathroom.
yep. I carry mine everywhere.
My Steam Deck exclusively play RimWorld in the bathroom.
That's the only place you'll play it.
It's the only place I'll play it.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Yep.
How bad is Harry Potter on GameCube? I could have got it for like $6 or $7.
Which one?
Yeah. There's a couple.
It looked like the first one. It looked like
So did they not? Didn't they? So there was a couple on the PS1 and the N64 that they're absolutely terrible. But I think the ones on the GameCube and the PS2 aren't too bad, if I'm not mistaken. I only had one, and I don't remember which one it is. Maybe it was Goblet of Fire for the GameCube. But they're all just you literally just go to class and then do a couple missions, go to class, do a couple missions.
Well, I went to a game store and it was like in perfect condition and everything else. It was like I think it said $7 on the back. I was like, should I get this or is this what it looked kind of a little kiddish? And I was like, is this like, I mean, it looked like the first, like first movie. And I was like, I don't know how good it is. So I ended up picking the Batman, the Batman Begins.
I would have picked the Batman game.
Yeah.
The Batman game on the GameCube good. So
Yeah, but the Batman one was more expensive. So
It's Batman.
Huh? Yeah, I know it's Batman, but it was $15 for a 7.
I'm Batman.
If you're looking for a GameCube platformer, Scooby Doo Night of I think it's 100 Frights or 1,000.
I have that on. What do I have that on? I have that on something and played most of that game. I did see that there though. It was in the store there. I thought about getting it too, but what did I play? I think I played on the original Xbox. Is that what it was on?
I think it was on the original.
Or is it on the 360?
It was on the original Xbox.
No, it was the
Original
original.
Xbox. That's the one I have. Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah. We had it back in the day.
Hold up, boys. Toy Story 2 is available on the PS5 for $6.
That's
Wait,
PS5.
the
I
Nintendo
don't have one.
64 one?
Yes. I'm buying it right now.
That's worth it, yeah.
Well, it's also PS4 and PS5.
Gotcha. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
You just go to the Sony store. It's $5.99. Free
Well,
delivery.
And going back to when we were talking about the games that Arabian Collector Vision's going to re-release it at some point since Pixel Boy is retiring. So the Pixel Boy ones are sold out, but Arabian is coming back out late. I think they said later this year. Collector Vision's releasing it. It's a great game. I mean, it's really a good game. So, but I did want to say that if you didn't pick it up, I saw that there's one up on Fleabay right now for $175. Don't pay that. It's not worth that. It's gonna when the Collector Vision guys come out with their version, it'll be a lot less. As a matter of fact, the one on eBay says Collector Vision, which I'm kind of laughing at. Because somebody said Luke ran out of boxes, so he got some extra boxes from Toby and JF, so he could finish releasing his copies.
Well, you guys know I'm cheap. I won't pay a high price for anything. I'll wait. I'll sit around and wait years to get what I want.
I guess that puts us, we've another great month of gaming and the games that we've recommended and the ones that we've hated on. So I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Pissenwallen. And
I did that before the podcast.
as we here at Techegy Podcast say,
Stay
nerdy,
my
my friends.
hasta la vista, baby.